Pramo ato abusafo mamunyina aha UTV so ene omayimu ene amahodro so nsem ayensa kadea poapo no eno ena edu so ayede ebramo efri abeka junction ewo enkrako poemu this way chocolate drink osidio here ene enso special ice anu si ensuo mu ode ene mu eya krojin ena afa special drinks anu so emu gwa ahodo dope bia no won beyi bi ede amausa enuma koi ene afofro enkae na akambom asuasene ayede pram to reka sebo so ebramo DSTV channel 360 ye try eguso na de ebedimu akotini bi enie Mashme dafie committee a wonu hwe nwomesua so de atodwa say hu behia pa say printing nyuma kwa hodo e wo memo no ye tumi eyi eto etua efi wonom eso Sanso ena asoye hwe ensase ene emuni paso ede atudwa se wonum apa committee bi ho ntoma wonum ebeboa ama green street project no etumi akosu yie yenya ntie se Ghana eba enwo eye oil palm mu a ye bomodi ye pa a ebetumi aye ne dodo no a ede akwa ma hodo so nanso ye ni sika enunti dodo a wose ye no ye ntumi enye adisha wonum so ewo enzurezu ede atudwa se nema hodo a etumi eboa ama abrabo eye nikan contemporary so boni be social amenities wonum eni ebuchafanu aban enhwe endum wonum ebi awusafo wei ene ensembia ebi eka na editie na edihwe ene asano sokoji a yede ebramo ewo UTV so ewo enkran abeka junction midday ade afia edishumwa mrosa me ena ewie from tibeka sebono midday ebesomo afi emu ensam ankasa enie empempi wukọ eye aban schools ahodo emu a textbooks ya na enkoda no esua no ehutumi eye den ema abekọ na enkoda ntete wasum saa a wonum enya bi enkenka ma chechefo nso nya bi enhwemu emfa nkyere enkoda no ade na no ena mrahwebedwafie committee a wonum hwe ehumesua so ade atodwa sei ehu behia pass print nyuma kwa ahodo wo memu no ye beyi eto tax ade afi wo mo so se be ya eye textbooks no wo metumi aprint dodo no a ama ye de ama schools ahodo no ko basa ade anya ade a ehu be ye den e wo schools ahodo no emu
Beyen finjami ensani ena Ghana ban ayensesaye o my Ghana yediswa hu sensem emu na nanka kyerkyere fo hwe nimu sensesaye aba yediswa mu nsemu no aban ede nwoma na se textbooks ho de be kyere mofra na de nso ebeka wo ho na finjami ensani ni no afei ena aban do contract no adwumaku ahodo so hwe no printing textbooks for my school for na mbo ma ediswa na de kyere hu nsem entumi mfa no ntoma pa emfemfira na enu nti ena bedweku amrahye bedwam ohwe disua hu nsem so meche parliamentary select committee on education wabo apura kwa kopie mu onyuma eku aban no contract no ama mu ba kumu eye appointed time printing akwakọ hwese na adwumadie no esi eko na wabra bedwakuo no kopie mu e appointed time printing no ene opanyina parliamentary select committee on education wodano orumunyamfo kwabena amankwa siama ekasa di nsem sei etudwa
before now nanka publishers no omo ya na omo akọ print ade no China ni India na omo de aba ba sese no minister ene aban se dabi se publisher no e de contract no ma ni aban ne se oba print bibia e wo ahaya o print a na wa supply no ahaya ma publisher no na publisher no so e de akoma ministry no nti sa pepe na MC ye ba ha no so ya be hu se o mugu so pa nia edikan ye hwe de edikan pa ye hwe ne se niema na ye ka se omum print no eno na omum print ana niema ye ka se omum fam print no eno na omum print se mote ye se inside ne 700 GSM ena outside ne 200 GSM eye school for ne de ena teacher for ne de no inside ne 800 GSM ena outside ne 250 GSM eno nso yahwe ye hu se eno ano no afei ye be hwe se eniema no ye ma na he ne ede ma no na ne ede ma no no produce ahe ye ma omo 800,000 first junior ede ma omo as we speak now omo produce 600,000 kodada nti 200,000 na ne ekoye na omo guso omo ye nti se obekaya managers ne ka say omo de omukura ombe wi ansa na 27th August na ye ka se omumfamra no ayeden adu enti na chese ye hwe de omaye ɛne ne ɔmo gu so a ɔmo yɛ yi a ɛne mfidie a ɔmo tintim a ɔmo wɔ a na kyerɛ sɛ biribiara da adi pefee sɛ ɔmo egu adwuma no so na ɔmo betumi nso ayɛ na ɔmo yɛ nso.
Na no akyire no ɛna opanyin kwankyerɛ for appointed time printing Odano Jacqueline Afo enso wekasa na wokyiri mu a emmera mpenifo kra de hye no na ahwe adwumadie no obetumi awie kra ansa na mmere no adu na nyinyina mu no wɔhwɛ hunu sɛ textbooks anase nwoma obeprinti e de madusuafo no ebe papa e be che o mofra ne nsam
ye 800,000 and ti say ya medi kan ye 600,000 ti aka 200,000 a ye hwɛ sɛ ansa na busumi kra be ko ne wie no ye be wie ansa na busumi naso insurance ye de ebe ma omo feel say ye ntimi as local printers na say mo ankasa as journalists no ma be hu na esan say ye pese printing industry no etumpo Ghana no ya ankasa as a company no na printers association ya invest ewo machines a ye de ejuma say de be ya ye betimi aye ne say de ti sa amanone de na ye de ba no enti quality ne de ye ndi hu agro kra na ye ni de chire pa say ufa aha book na ufa de fair brochure ba ne nyina ye betimi esi pepepe.
Colleges of Education makumaku edu eyade a wonum anya bedwa bia ebeda wa no na wahwe wondwumade ene won totoye so enam so masa bedwa no empanyufo aye amamre adan wonum adi na no ene nwumasuan so afo a wonu ononyamfo yaw osai adutwum ede ato wanim se ene die mada wonhwe se college no wo mukukwa mu nsam onfa ma bonten
ene de wa behebo wo swai nswai ni mu no wo swai kire nyame enti baby a we adwuma ana counselor we adwuma oso no bo modern say ko meetings a wo shebo said the ka meetings no enya de a obeda na di a kire amansan nyina fa ye adwuma se be ya moko council meeting na obi abetimi a kire na dwen na nea esi kwa me nkrofo nkire o madwen se ofi so o kire na dwen a obefi ho na dabonten na afa obi hu na no ohwe ne mienu enti na me tu omofo se munye adwuma pa emo oman munye adwuma panta na nadoda nkokufu ado achi na nwumasuan fa ne nto ampafra na moko council meetings a ne ensese kwabonten no e ma no kwabonten
yeda ye mempanyin ase ne nia ohwe education asoe no so ase na meda oye menuanum so a me no ombobo ma ye adwuma ma Holy Child College of Education etumpo ma ye man so etumpo yes ye behim ba ko ni se impuntu beba inkankara wo oye yesuafo omadisuam na omudi nkumunindi befisa adisua bie akwakoye dwuma atete oye yankwala Ghana man kwala amame etimi agineje emsaya ya se ebi abakonhia mudi ya asofu yara yempuntu ho na asembia bana edikan ababonti ansa na wimpo kwaboso akire omunyina emsesa ne sisi wo oye edwuma na groupings fam bete esa ema impuntumba usanso ochina obi te se me na makwaka sei me na mkotia obi okase obi frame se otia nfa ho di so anase ebe me ya pa the next time ekonhia mudi ani pakro no de also kan onka or the beshan ho impuntu biara emba eba ne sa group na ho kwa until we must give importance to oath of secrecy na yafa and I think my colleagues will take note of that and work hard on it.
Oswafa oshe ensase ene emuni paso awoni ononyafo Samuel Ejinapo awasansumpo yemraso bedwani wada committee bi edia wonom ebehwe ama Green Street project no etimi akoso
wabro no manyamfo asoye omo ena hwa asase no obade nipa twa ehu hia so urumanyamfo Samuel Ejinapo ekasa no ena wo kiri mu a ya aban ni so de hunu so be ma monten so atumi ate wan na baabi obibia nam no watumanya mfremapa ahome na aboa ama pomudi hu nsem so atumi ginigina na so e wo man Ghana mu na wiem bobere so atumi ayiye na sa aban ni so de hunu yinti ena wapa odwumade bi hu ntumi di eda so eni Green Ghana project sa Green Ghana project yi empinifo ba behwe no duadua nnua e dafa monten so akwan ho eni biaye na aboa amakuruma atumi ayefe manfrema panso atumi afakurum.
A look around some of the major cities across the world reveals an intentional planting of particular types of trees to add to the aesthetics of the city. London in the United Kingdom, Paris in France, and to some extent Cairo in Egypt, Abuja in Nigeria, and Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, are just a few examples. Government has therefore decided to implement this Green Street project as part of measures to beautify our cities and contribute to the global climate action. The overarching objective of this project is to plant appropriate tree species capable of providing both aesthetic view and environmentally related benefits for a healthy and sustainable world. The project will begin with the planting of trees along streets and avenues in Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, and Takoradi. These 4 cities will form the first phase of the project and will gradually be extended to all the 16 regional capitals of our country. A robust and ambitious project like this requires that we put together a dedicated team from relevant stakeholders to see to the design and execution of the projects. The committee which we inaugurate today is therefore made up of members drawn from 1, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, 2, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, 3, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, 4, the Forestry Commission, 5, the Ghana Highway Authority, 6, the Department of Urban Roads, 7, the Department of Parks and Gardens, 8, Zoomlion Ghana Limited, and 9, Mullen Law. Well, I should point out, though, that in all that we do, the lead agency for this project, without a shred of doubt, will be the Department of Parks and Gardens, as they have the central institutional mandate for the beautification of our capital cities across the country.
I was on for year to work as a bono so say your Sunyan West and no a work bono mantum emua. Yan in here assembly or honum a year Sunyan West Municipal Assembly no one de atia a year cashew no seedlings no Maku and Pim Waha Eduosian 160,000. I'm a Kuava one ewo Duma se one Enfendia.
Ghana de Biana ya politics. We mpa ye obi ba gesi bi o MBB4 program. No. Ye pe adwuma aba manum, ye pesika ama mansinum, ye pesika aba manum. Why do you have to differentiate? Internet say we no anye MPP MBC for Assam. Nemom aye mansinu nyina obi bia empo say ye manfo a omo ha. Say cha na obi a nye biwie. Na obi ko mo different mansin bi ma. Oba wa not Ghana ese nyina no ye sum man Ghana. The ambassador we buy politics. So when you MPP nia don't come dabi. My money na adwuma na yeye senebaya ede adwuma sika na ahoto eba o man ma Sunyan was ye fa cashew no say bra aban ede hye no eba no am say omudi kan be ye assessment ehu mansin bia no aduade a na say aduaba eyi e ho na akuafo no so no omonsa ewom nti on ba no na wo hwe a na already na akuafo a Sunyan was edika dom ahye cashew no wo hwe odomas area nsuatre almost everywhere it was eno na edikan a akuafo no omonsa ewom
Kuyani bia no yamma no kra no 1 hectare yebema no 1 hectare no 100 seedlings 2.5 acres enti ye saa senka enfie no ekuafo bi ho a yedika mom bi dada ye pesen ka fie no na ekuafo a ye register no bia ni kra no wo be ye 10 acres na wadua ahweso ye na aboa no na aboa Sunyan West mensinim na aboa omani nyina sese ye distribute wi a ye kɔ ekuafo ne so akohwe kwan a omudua no ye wo officers our communities ni nyina mu ya group communities ni into operational areas the officers no na ekɔ saa pharmacy na so oha bi okuani ni wo okohwe ye beboa wo no ya kyerɛ mo kwan a wo mo mpege no kwan a wo mo faso nnua no ene kora sɛ wo mo de kɔ no sɛ ne ya wo mo bekora no na yɛde si fam a ɛgyina
yɛhwɛ animu sɛ yɛbɛkɔ akɔdua san sɛ aba mmere papa mu bɔ nsuo no tɔ aba mmere papa nti yɛkɔdua sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ yɛbɛnya sika ano yɛbɛnya sika kɛseɛ na planting for food and jobs no dwumadie no yɛtumi akɔ animu na yɛnya amano no sika atumi de abɔ yɛbra mɛbunu nam bankyere deɛ no kɔsɛm yɛdi ho yia bebree yɛgu so to wɔmfo sɛ ɔmomfa ɔmo hyɛ kua yɛ no mu Ghana ni baabi adeɛ yɛ nyame ahyira yɛn sɛ yɛni di wɔ kua adwuma ho nti baabi a wode aduaba bia bɛsi bia wobɛnya sika nti mmeranteɛ no mmabaawa no mfa yɛ ho nhyɛm na ɛno koraa mpo kua adwuma no bɛyɛ secondary job a another job a ɛbɛboa yɛ bebree
in fact ɛgu so a yɛkasa kyerɛ ɔbɔ sɛ cashew no ɛyɛ adwuma pa obiara fa no ho nyam sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a kua adwuma no so ɛba no ho so because woda bakyerɛ a na wobɔ korɔ no a wodi sɛm ne ade no ɛmmoa woyɛ akora nti sɛ wode ho gye kua adwuma no mu ka sɛ adwuma ni hɔ adwuma biara apart from korɔ no ba cashew no adwuma a ɛmu ɛdɛ
Say Kogan Central Croponi mu ababeto dwa se aban egusu gidigidi esiesie wonom akwan ahodo no ede amawo no
biaye wo ga Central mansin ni mu ansiesie mapa eba be koso e wo akwantempo ahodo so no eyo Sotum Farmark Palace Town Bokoboko Puma Road Sotum ekokosi Antieku Junction enya eko Santa Maria anya West ena fi biaye a ekeka ho mpinfo ba behwe na nsamso me kire bridge anase gata bia ebehia no so no obeye no odi aka won ho na no ena banka chipenyi na woga Central Urumunyafo Mohammed Bashiru Kamara ekasa ena woda abanyase pa se won so no wode wona kwa dwundwum ansiesie mapa oba benya bi e wo kwantempon ahodo eso no de to amanfo nyina nim so bibia nka na koma emfanto ne yam esanse enche bia no aban national cake ochiche no obia ebenya ne chefa
road I free Sotum Antieku Junction ebe fa ha eko assembly hall eko pie wo anya market na hwe en engineers no akasa ade mienu either stairs underground culvert here wa ha ejina so yi eswama nsuo no enti either say be biemu ni ay ne kese pa nsuo no to a betimi anya free movement free flow and I say ye de befa efi kese ya esi hai ye de befa etire all the ye ni say ne be ya nsuo to a aha no enyire nsuo nkwamanfo dem enko ha nipa ensese omuniema ejitum say by the time I be wie sanjishe we no a road ye gusu ye ni de flood issue no etubetwa
nanu akire no e na banka chipenyini no esan ka tusu biem se no kure de okana no pebido anwumre na wo ho ato ni sai so ntiro obi bia wasi dan ye nsiye ne fa bia ba behwe ka akwa mu esi nsuo na momu ne de ne otwe mu tanye ne bete ne pe odan no ye beka e de gu fom
ye ba be ye road no ye njai na because of sa edan ba ku mienu a esi hoi na area have for elusu this project I wa ha omo ebetom
na ne kokra mu no municipal urban roads engineer woni amanfo ni bi so de sem sei eto ye nanim
sa road we connect Pashimo Fanko road no e was Sotum last stop to Farmark road no enti sa won pese o use mambo na se o use Antieku a o fa top kan e nam so ya
Ora Adib Sani a security expert what the ato abata ni ahwefo nyane mi say di mada ye mabambo ho nsem no o se ma no asemiya ye person say nipa bonifo bi atia sikuro mu a wo mo echichichichi nkola kidnapping no wo mo ahyase a wonum eye bi nu ntino ye manimpo se no mo wo honom a ekwan ye wo so mo faso ene ahoho strangers ekasa no mpo o se etumi de ho ntese ene ho adesua ema wonom.
There were more profits in kidnapping than armed robbery, okay? And lately, kidnapping is prevalent. And I think a wake-up call to parents and so young educating sometimes who say, and unfortunately, nisika to me to car specifically to convey to and from school. Okay, ebi mu bebre omu nante and right from the point omu fifie to the point where omu school, any vice versa, omu are vulnerable to all sorts of individuals. Look, there were sex predators, there were kidnappers, and there were ebisu omu are opportunists, omu are criminals, but because of opportunity nti, omu betumi take advantage. So you educate and kwada no obi frɛ beji tofi, then omu beye. Because mostly criminals no omu use adia ebetumi attract the attention of nkoda to say pets, cramai, any okra, any toffees, you know, any balloons, any other. So young educator omu, let's not think say omu young nkoda omu nti asie about their personal safety nkoda no. Ya posti bibia about nkoda no omu din ejane a omu di uniform, school a omu ko any other. So criminal be on him issues we nyina ana information we nyina obetumi akọ school no o mi be fan kwada no omo bisa no questions a obetumi ama sa information no okay and ma omo very vulnerable to sa individuals no so you're very careful with social media advice any adi ebetumi aboa but there was security infrastructure and also betumi aboa. So for example car edi umma co school we tracker magnetic on here special installation bia where you just affix it under the car, very strong magnets bia car no ko ubetumi share so that omu take it detour maybe car no is supposed to use a certain route or take it different route ubetumi afraid driver no to find out then where are you going with the children. Aside that so you were ways to GPS tracker, very tiny one we ubetumi hide no in the back of nkwadano and be somewhere in the uniform, but just that periodically ube charge no bebia omwa ubetumi anem or phone. So in fact bebia omuka ubetumi atie e phone so because our device we e microphone so bebia esi ubetumi atie e phone. So yen invest in sa technology also. Obi ba fia yen ni fia omo knock a then kwada uncle omo be bie. So yen kan kire omo apart from mommy or daddy men bie kununuma obia.
So ya kukumasi dwakesem eye Central Business District one ma yenya ntie se KMA boss na kasemu wodi edom anim ene omo ayensese adwumadi a bota eda kumasi nyina ne se wodi tu efi ene bola ase ede afri hono.
Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly mpanyimfo na wotwe awie omone amamfo dodo na etisi montene so enkanka bebie fro Central Business District no etimi eye adwuma etete gata hodo a emu asi amamfo ede enwura ankasa agum omo eye sansiesie be donhwere be enan na mra adwumadie no eba awie no meya oda Kumasi mekire onimonyamfo Samuel Pan ene nsamtwefo etwetwe nkomo ena wo kire se emre du se assembly ne timekeka ne ho na afi kwan ya amamfo faso etimi eto bola egu baby ense so omo to bola egu omo ebetimi asesa saa suban no na nya suban papa a yedi bu eman osese da be ya Kumasi betimi gina na nanso na eba efi a ebetimi efri Kumasi montene so enkanka business district centers no Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly ene Spain Spain abrochmem empanyimfo etimi nhyehyeye bi a omo betimi enya sika bi a betimi aboa ama eba waste management a Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly ebetimi enya sika saa nnwumadi ne nyina ebetimi akoso enam so ama saa nhyehyeye ne kra no October ya mu eyade a wo mo eba be hyase a wo mo ebeye meyo echeche nsem no musei
ye pese obi ahunu se ball a ohui enye ball na yesika enu ntino wukọ Spain a wo mo association na Ghana nke be ka se NALAG local government association am friend Manra ye nu wo mo na European Union na the city of Prague, Cape Verde, and KB, Yakambu, Yan Shibia, your status sensitization, in October, you roll out Nema, Yabema beans a dry waste, say plastics, the begumu, and a wet waste, say a dianiasi, Yabaya composting plants, baby, a Daniel Nima, ye fertilizer, no, Yabayanka Cranka Crabbe 9, Ewukumasi, now a recycling plant. I'm here who say, a bola, no. ɛnyɛ sɛbi sika ɛma yɛ ebisɛ da bia meka sɛ agye sidi ɔhabia wɔ Kumasi kurodua mu a yɛde mu sidi aduɔson ɛna yɛde ɛhwɛ ɛsesa bɔɔl a nti abɛn ne benya bi ɛde asi school ɛde bi asi hospital na ɛde bi atuatu apɔtɔ so nti nyinaa yɛ nsom yɛ mmoa ne Kumasi yɛ yi a ɛyɛ ma Santema ɛyɛ ma Ghana ma ɛyɛ mo bibiara sɛ yɛtu anamɔ bi a yɛyusu national security cameras no ɛde hwɛ wɔn a ɛfa yɛ akyi ɛde wura gu mmɔnten no yɛbɛnya nkurɔfoɔ bi ɛfrɛ wɔn sanitation gas so wɔn ba nipa bɛ 100 yɛbɛkyɛ mu mmiɛnsa ebi bɛyɛ adwuma no pakɔpem anwummere ebi ayɛ anadwo to dasuom ebi nso ayɛ dasuom ma ade akye nti wɔn bɛhwɛ deɛ ɛkɔ so yɛne kɔɔtofoɔ nso akasa so obi a yɛnsa bɛso no mu no ne mfa nyɛ agorɔ efisɛ yɛtwe aso a yɛbɛsrɛ ɛnisi a mawura ɛba yɛ mmɔnten so ɛwɔ sɛ yɛyɛ deɛ fata.
Enum ene agina emu ehemfo akasa de atodwa sɛ entokwa ene wantwi bia eni wonum entem wo mo kyerɛ sɛ wo mo te asomdwie ene adwobrokwa so efrimre santen eno ntinya de a wo begyeja wo mo ho ama wo bi de sabi mansun bia ba beto wo mo ntem de basabasa ena afi koka bia nso aba beto wonum entem. Awuzafo yesemada ensem we no yede hu mfonyini ebebremu echire na ansan yede ebebremu no yebetoa kasebo no so na afi yakọ ensem foforo emu yenya ntie se eba enwo eye palm oil Ghana man yebomu modin ye pa yetumi eye akese yetumi de dodo no akwa ma hodo so anke betumi nya sika a emu edu ade afrim nanso nam se ye ni sika nti no yentumi enye pi emfa enko
Openyine ne sansemena tuja wabre na disuafo bia won dodo esun 253 na waji won titie awie o University College of Agriculture and Environmental Studies mu e Kumasi ana wuja won kwan na dwumadie na se no eno openyina sustainable economic development wada no se head of programs Debt Leave Axel John ekasa na wochiri mu a jama ban no aye ne so bebo my Ghana akonasa hodo nyina so se na ban na activate adisua no o my Ghana madodo na ebetimi de won ho ahyem na mpunto e pese yen saka so my no yetumi duru ho.
I applaud the graduates gathered here today. We have recognized ATIVET to be the key to skills qualification and youth employment and have agreed to avail themselves for the training process which they have undergone for the past couple of months. Dear CBT learners, on behalf of the German Development Corporation, in my behalf, I congratulate to each of you present here today. You have all put a lot of effort into your learning, so I wish that you make good use of all knowledge and skills you have gained whilst attending the program. And I can assure you that a purpose future lies ahead of you. Ayoko, well done. Valued partners, let me assure that the German government remains committed to supporting the activities of the TVET sector in Ghana, which is one of the surest ways to attain the financial and economic independence that the young men and women in this country are striving for.
Nanu achire no eno opinina Solidaridad West Africa ku no wadano se programs manager Nicholas Isaka ekasa eno ochiri mo my Ghana engwa adwuma no sen campaign for tino nani ede wani adi echira toto niema yi a na kasika o man betime nya firi engwa dwumadie mu no na nke nya sikawa
ofa Ghana ha just ya hwehwem kakra hu se enka enya companies akese ye kuafo na omoye ne nketenkete de friend small scale farmers no ubehwehwe mu ano na just abe no ofa hectare ba ko a obenya bebe se tons enum 5 tons enso no eyeye na otumi nya antetie no ehwe abesu ni yi a obetumi nya 20 eduonu into the ohono no enti ni nyina ye sikasem eyentetie eyenimdie
nanu achire no na rector at University of Agriculture and Environmental Studies Odano Dr. Charles Boampon Yeboa enso kasa no wachire mu a
the kind of training is slightly different, more hands on. Theory only about 20 to let's say 30%, and field work no hands on there no about the remaining 60%. We also obesa ko factory akwa attachment say a fruit juice now co producer and also ni training or
Thousand 4 years to Akasia Bono as Electricity Company of Ghana. One edum so many. Adisha womo so many. Ewo yilo krobo. Koponi mu kromuni nyinada. Yedum womo kania. As I say womo eshe esum emu. Na no ena nananum hemfunu wampenyufa womo so many. Ede atu jose. Efiri ebra yisi jifodu womo kania no. Penny kwahe. Ewudisam abonefosam akronosam ni enyambransam. Apeja ni mu dendindi achese enye asam keto wo so many honom.
Wabra UTV kasiye boy koko PM ewo yellow krobo eno hina wono eno wo okpe wiem nini anyi no gu tei ago ye ne twetwe nkomo ena wo tire mu a ba na wo twinie empenifo nyina monkane ahonse modan no my Ghana mu mikire ECG waduma amafo yellow krobo nkane nyina awoda isum kabisi mu nene kire mu a schools ewo ho ayaresabia hodo ho enyuma ekwa hodo iso nyina monkane a ewo honom na kamode mo bedum kane na kran kamode mo nya ne preso te se dum so emfa mo na nkobefa ne saa na so bedum kane no kra saa de ade a ha wo mo pa nene kire mu a onim sa pintim bia dame prepaid meter uyu so betuaka postpaid meter uyu so betuaka eni nti ne manfo nka wo ba bia da se prepaid meter na ECG for the bro mo no wo mpe na onima de kronti ama ECG for ho tan ya be na hotwenie wodum won kane wo da sumu saa.
We only woke up one day to realize that lights were off. And upon deliberations, we realized that ECG has issues with certain people, and that is why the action. We feel used, and we feel disappointed, because our people, which is the Ilokrobo traditional area residents, have never tampered with any meter, have never ever attacked any official of the ECG, have never confronted any of their team in the course of their duty. And even if that happened, one would expect that to consult us before an activity, before a program, anytime there are difficulties, you come back to the fathers of the land and they complain to them the difficulties you are having, then we address the issues accordingly and proceed. But for the ECG being the country's main producer of electricity, with all the powers they have, to decide to take Ilokrobo traditional area from the national grid, it's quite unfortunate for us.
Papa. Yes, I'm penny for some young baby my kakana, yen binum de. But ye mata, ye man doso. Aha, squat so to cry as him. I might have drink yes, or more young baby my.
I'm gonna say, in fact, a high end papa. Even crowns, they see, and so baby crowata, they talk around a heading. And a young Kuala school, one more air school, I just say, they say, Untiman to Atadi, walk to him. Until Kuala just Atadi, or the show on San on the school. And a uniform personnel, so Hanum just say, when you know, Mukojuma, or Atadi 2 million, a big problem, primary. And in fact, where the best round, Brasimuna. Opinion leaders in Penafo Kroma and Phone Adiano. Now, one more is to get in touch with electricity management and no one shana. One must solve our problem in my young. It's answer a idea a high and Casepa.
It's answer light of no light in the Hontino. The generator and the charging mom. The charging BIG 5 cities. But although you're charging the bomb by and so you me find your she petrol near to me 200 cities a day. And I'll charge back 5 cities. And you know, apart from say the boy amount for no petrol scan about 2 years she was so. Because petrol no suko. Utos is here nasa. Utos is here nasa. Yam no yaji 3 cities and 100 near 5 cities. The light of the high and be brave. Apart from say the charge for me find you found credit me so. Me find you my beer. The phone no the charge by generator na use.
Ezulenzu ye krobia no amansuri river no eso na womo etie ewo jomoro mensirimu ewo atoye mantem na womo no enua na omo de aye adan a wonom edemu womo de atodwa se enema hudu etumi bua ema abrabo eye nika aye contemporary so oboni be se social amenities womo nibi eno nti abanhwe endum wonom bi
Omai bia na nia bere opesika ede abu ne man no akwansara anase tourism hu dwumadie enya de ototo na sekra na abepiem e my Ghana mu a Nyankopon adom ya chede bebre adodo na no eye tourist attractions amanfo fira monone ebebo na ni akohoma so my Ghana sen campaign 14 na ni ede nhyehyɛ pagu apono so a na nke betumi anya sika de afiri mu pa se abia ye ba ko eni nzulenzu kuromu a nsuo so na kuru no ewo efiri kura wa asasebedie so ekokura won nsuo yiso yi ubetwa beye buru ne kwansini num 5 kilometers e wokodo so ansa na nzulenzu kura won nsuo so yi wakwa koduru ho na eno na UTV kase boye fato ye ho so efa ye camera to ye kon ho ekokopie mu e won nzulenzu ekohwe amanfo no hawa wo komu bi na eno na amanfo de to ye nanim so bepiem e won nzulenzu a amanfo dodo na ne firi akirikyiri ne benche bebehwe woni so ade na so hawa wo komu no enye wo hawo ketwa school enya de wo bie school ho no ne firi class 1 ekwa kusi class 6 eno akiri nsa mofra no pese wo toa so agi se ofo kanu anase kodo obru ne kwansi ne num etwa ekokuru na wasase bedie so no ansa na wotima ko JHS de bia agana bia woni bi ayare sabia nya de wo bi enti nso no so na wote so no eno na so wote so saa na de bia na manfo ba ho ebehwe o cycle ye ne amanfo ni bi kasai
aha wa ha ye ni motivation bia na se bia ya makwan ya wo ku fees anti say omo wo for maybe on be extra classes na omonya extra money accommodate na had you had nothing like that incident because emadus wa ematroduce omo ba me to aba Ghana nkwala so na wo ha na be kai kwa no kroma so firi nzema ekurasi bi no koye president ade na classes teachers yenye teachers wa tibi da me sanka omo ye ade bi de motivate teachers na at least teacher will stay now omo in education amanfo wo e formal day omo nyanti mesra omo motivate teachers aye tu ye ho asi we dey ye be kira de wo sai kurasi we no mo bring teachers ni ntumi nkira nkwana na de so they can match up with those outside
this year ni clinic bia wa ye wo ye si dan a ha eni edi no begu esesiem ye si ayi nurse dan a ewo ekiri ha yenya nurse obehwe ye kure so a ye be ma me be bia da nso afo so a yenya esenka bi na fe lack of teachers ye school na eko primary 6 no teachers aban teachers omo posu omo ba ha edunu ba ese ekwendia eso ye fe nso nsuo no omusu na omoko obi be teach be say 2 weeks na so ko fe nyama ba okwa omabi
tife ne yi ya state no so say ne ba kunka yenya bi ene petrol no adom ba edibegwa moto mu ne ya kofa nso sa
ya hanu tourism attraction no boto ya tena mu na ne go nti emane ba ma dwum se me ye we ya ngofo ba o ma ani beje won se ne ba ya o mu ko o mu ba kai se o mu ba nzozo je o mu kara o mu isu na so mu bibi o mu du ko o mu fun ene sa ade nti me ye se uto bi kwa na o je kwa chi ofiefo se me ko nzozo je me konya ye
Adisia wonum ewo kula na afenso gbalahi communities mu ewo Tamale North abato mpesua so watifi mantemu no wonu da de sede ato abanim se ni die ma gbalahi waste processing plant no won hwe enyama wo mu esan so omanum sufia cheye pa wo si ba bi omutu bola eguo ne pempi no na eso ne nsuo nso a ba bi omusa nsuo no na akogum na omo esanom eni ti aban hwe se sa waste processing plant no betumi aye awie atenensa afri ho
na sensemi ya ho enen kane assemblyman Alasan Sedu efa UTV kase boso editor abayanim sefa kwa wombola eguo no yade he wona dwen pa abribia ne jadam ehu si efiri mu ba na nyade bo na pomden obehwe na nso bi nso atwi firi bola no mu man ensu a wonom no na ekwa kogum sa abanya hwe wamba mbesi bia ye beda ne da ne efiani ama sa bola no wantu amfa mfiri ho no mu a yaro abetia te se watifidi fam no enyade o my Ghana ebetumi agina no.
You see that whenever it rains heavily, the water will overflow to our dams or our sources, and that is the only water that we have in our communities. So when it happens like that, all the water bodies are going to be polluted. We will not have any water to drink again. Harmattan season, whenever they send the rubbish or the garbage there, you know Harmattan season, everywhere is just fire. The whole place is going to be smoke. You can't even stand there not to talk of breathe. And the Zoom lion trucks to normally pour the liquid waste to some places where we don't like it. We are not happy about that. Some people's farms, and that's how they have been doing for some time now. So we are not happy for that. We are calling on government to come to our aid to see how best they can do to help us solve this problem.
Then what you know, UTV kasi boy, and Nukromafoni being so excited what in some say to your name.
I'm going to the yes, Roman said, all fair your name. Yes, sir. Ever. No, Bono, Nyaguro.
When it comes to the dry season like this, you can't sit beside by the road. Whenever you come out to the roadside, you cannot sit because of the dust. Because the Zumlayan people are just patrolling the road anytime, the whole of the day. They are using the road. Anytime you come out to the roadside, you'll be dirty. So sometimes it's affecting the businesses, people who are sitting by the roadside to do business, because sometimes if you come out, you can't sit because of the road. Because when you sit down and the dust enter you through your heart, when you go home, you can't sleep. The time that they started it, somewhere 2000, because the commission need 2000, and they said that they are going to tile the road and use and plant a fertilizing plant over there to produce a fertilizer. That's why they start dumping the refuse over there. But since then, we have never seen anything like that. Even when it comes to the management of the landfill side, they don't manage it. Can't you see that all over the community, there are rubbish all over? The rubbish are from the landfill side, not from this community. Because of they just leave it, they didn't build wall around it. The fence, when they started it, the fence wire around it, but the wire, it just fell down and destroyed. They didn't do anything about it again. So whenever there is wind, you can see the whole of the community will be full of dust and smelling from the refuse. We are appealing to the government to come to our aid, to tile our road for us, and also go and manage the landfill side the way it's supposed to be, because the way it is, it's not the way they planned it to be.
Yede kasebono eko amahudoso ensem emo si eko Central Nigeria yenya ntiesa aposifo wonum achi nipa makumaku ensia achese so boade abo omu nyina ne se womu enam bukata ene krono kwan so akobie dating site bi achese no wo ye bema wo po ba ne na twempena wo kokko no ma ubenya bi wo yo ba so na wo bema bi asabi ne nsam ye ne ho akono na ne tadua mu odin so ne na twempena ho so kwa ubenya bi ena afen so gay ni lesbian fo ni nyina no eyade a site wonom wo mo chese wo di nipa bi agu ho no ma wo kokko no mpe ubenya bi ene no atwempena na afen masapam hu ye pa na wo kira wo ye attempt se wakwa kofa bi a na wotu hu ana mu a na o masa wia wo de aka ho na brante bi ono no oye na adwin se okofa bi no chese wodru ho no ni nude pictures ana wo mo egiye chese we be mo wo mu woro ho ni ade a na etwa pictures no kwatere kwa na fe wo mo de threaten se wo mo sika mu odu a wo mo de be ko social media basa na ho pu na sika bi o ho bia no na wasane ede ama wonom enam so ama aposifo a wo mo abuja chese sasemi wo mo sai kan ka bebira na wo mo eye mu hwehwemu na afei ana wo manya nipa makumaku ensia atumi achi wonom na chese emema enan ena ma mienu ena yaso mumu wo mo akasa eposti wo mo pictures aha egu honum ena sese no yetumi aso mu emu sese de mpanyifo de atodwa se Nigeria memu no sa nema we no ye criminal offense pa na yechiwa wankwa afiase ano bese emfie eduna de wo beko enu nti ehun nsam abeto abonten abusafo na ye gina we so na ye homeka se bono so na ye de agudie mu nsam atoa so ye kwa ba